This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so far, whatever we discussed as part of our overview sessions is your basic information about SAP we have understood. We have understood what points you need to understand, what points you need to consider before you learn SAP FICO, and what are the topics that you are going to have, on what basis you need to learn each topic, whether you should focus only on the configuration or you have to focus based on the business process understanding, whether you need accounting knowledge or straight away you can focus on config, and how your interview process will happen, how you will get job opportunities either as fresher or as an experienced. So these are all the topics that we have covered so far. At least at base level, what you have got an idea at high level. May not be at completely, may not be at 50%, but at least you got to know these are the points that we need to know. These are the points that we have to understand before we get into SAP training, or what points you have to learn, understand in order to get a job in SAP FICO as a consultant. Now I'll explain you how our training will continue. I'll explain how our training will continue, what points you are going to learn, so that you will have a clear understanding about the upcoming batch that I'm going to take. So point number one, the class time will be 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. IST. Okay, so this will be your regular class, Monday to Friday. Okay, this is 1 hour. Depending on the topic, this may go to 1 hour 15 minutes, 1 hour 30 minutes also. But minimum 1 hour class will be there. Depending on the topic, it may get extended to 1 hour 15 minute, 1 hour 30 minute, 1 hour 40 minute also. Because certain topics we should not split in between. If you split in between certain topics, you will not understand it tomorrow what we discussed yesterday. So in order to avoid these kind of confusions, we will have a single session, single recording, so that it will be easy for you to understand without any gaps, without any disconnect. The other batch we will be having only on weekend batch. So I'll take another class only on weekend. So this weekend I'll be taking exclusively on Saturday and Sunday. So here class time will be based on the majority of the people convenience. We will connect either, so it will be Saturday like 7:30 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. 2 hours, and Sunday it will be either the same time or we can also connect in the evening depending on majority of our convenience. So first 1-2 weeks we will have flexible timings. So once we continue the class for 1 or 2 weeks, we will get to know which time is more suitable for everyone. Accordingly, we will freeze a particular time for this. Now on the regular batch, whatever we cover Monday to Friday, the same topics I will cover on the weekend batch, Saturday and Sunday. Now whoever is opting for regular batch or whoever is opting for weekend batch, you have freedom to attend both the classes. It depends on your timings, it depends on your availability. No rule that you should attend only regular batch, no rule that you should attend only weekend batch. You are free to attend both the batches. Okay, if you attend both the batches, you will get more benefited. You will be able to understand each topic 2 times parallelly. Any doubts, any confusions that you have will get easily clarified. Even while practicing, you will not get much doubts. And I'll provide you the recordings of both the batches. Okay, recordings will be given to you for both the batches. No rule that you have to get only this recording, not like that. You get recording access for both the batches, weekday batch plus weekend batch. Next one, we will be working on ECC. We will be working on HANA 1909, 2021, 2022 along with SAP Fiori. Okay, we'll be doing configurations on SAP ECC, S4 HANA 1909, S4 HANA 2021 plus S4 HANA latest version 2022, including all the transactions configurations related to SAP Fiori. This is purely on premise HANA systems because you don't get cloud on the market. Cloud version we will not get for practice in the market. So cloud we will not be doing. We will be working only on the on-premise versions. Next point. Whatever the topics that we cover, so in the implementation project sequence, we will be configuring the system in a sequence of a fresh implementation project. The way you configure a system if you are working for any implementation project, in the similar way we will be configuring the system right from the beginning. When I say this, so first we will be doing baseline configuration, leading, non-leading ledgers, parallel currencies, exchange rates, cost centers, profit centers, controlling area basics, taxation basics, integration basics, cash and BRS basics. After this, we will understand implementation methodologies, ASAP and Activate. After this, we will be understanding so before this I'll write. First we will start from accounting basics. Then we'll go to baseline config, all this, and after this we will start trial balance understanding. After this, master data, splitting or breakup of your trial balance. After this, LSMW, LTMC, migrate your data. After this, master data upload, transaction data upload. After that, report generation, TB P&L balance sheet, and I would say TB understanding. After this, let me put cutover activities, cutover, and catch over activities. After this, we will be posting first FI document with debit and credit. So before you start your first journal entry posting in your company code, these are all the points that I am going to teach you in the first 1 month. As I said, it will take 1 month for anybody to understand about SAP. During your first month, we will be covering all these points. In your first 1 month, we will be covering all these points so that you will understand the overall idea, overall picture about SAP, what you will do as a consultant, how you will do the configuration, what documentation is there, what are the project preparation methodologies, what is cutover data, what is catchover, what is master data, the sequential order of all your configurations, why we do each configuration, what is the business process, business impact, and then we will understand a trial balance, how you will get the trial balance from your client if you are in any implementation project. How do you understand the trial balance? How do you split the trial balance into different categories? P&L accounts, balance sheet account, reconciliation, open item, non-open item, asset, stock, all this. How do you load this trial balance into SAP? For that, how do you create different master data? For master data, if you are using LSMW, what is LSMW? How do we use LSMW? If you are using LTMC until 1909 version, on 1909 I will show how LTMC works. We will load the data with LTMC. On 2021 version I will show you, because LTMC is now replaced with migrate your data. With migrate your data, I will load the data of your master data records and the transaction records, and then we will pull out the reports. How you will generate the different master records, how do you share it with your client, with your users. Similarly, once trial balance is uploaded, how do you ensure that the trial balance that you uploaded in SAP is correct? In short, everybody talk about data migration or cutover activities or TB upload. How this activity happens, we will be knowing even before you post the first document in your company code. I'll show all these things at the beginning itself. And then after that, I will tell you how do you download the different reports, different transactions. And then once we are clear with all these points, we will be posting the first accounting document, which is your debit and credit. Till these points, we will not be posting, you will not be posting the first accounting entry, because we are not completing or we are not knowing the SAP FICO just for the purpose of knowing it. You will be knowing it in a proper sequential order, the way you work in any implementation project, in the similar order, in the similar sequence, with the similar examples, with the similar business process understanding. We will be doing that. Once we complete this, from here we will be going in a different logical understanding way. So nothing is straightforward with me. We will be understanding different business processes along with examples on the Excel sheet. Based on our understanding, the same example, whatever we took, this same example we will be covering. We will be doing it on SAP. Okay. Everybody is able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. If somebody is not able to see,
sir.
please try to rejoin. Maybe some network issues.
Okay.
Okay, once all these points are completed, we will be starting to post first debit and credit. From here, we will be configuring another company code, and from there we will continue our sessions. So in short, the first 1 month, you are going to understand about creating a company code until generating a balance sheet in SAP from an implementation project point of view. So I will not be teaching these points like a cutover, LTMC, data migration, all these things at the end. I will teach all these points at the beginning itself. because that is how you are going to work tomorrow when you are in any project. In the same sequence I will teach you. After that we will be going in the regular approach, everything with practical examples. In between we will be talking about different real-time incidents, the examples which you have to consider, or the points that you have to keep in your mind when you're talking to your users, clients, or whosoever. Clear?
Yes.
And during each topic, let's say interview related questions and points, on each topic. This is not going to work out with me that I will teach something and I want you to practice, and then I don't care whether you practiced or not. That way this is not going to work out. I will be monitoring what you're practicing. I will be asking you what is your company code. I will verify, I'll open, I'll check your configurations. Okay, I'll be giving you the assignments in the class, and whatever the assignment I give you in the class, I want you to do that assignment. I'll write the numbers on the Excel sheet in the class. Let's say whatever the example that I give, whatever the assignment I give all the assignments with financial figures. I want you to do this in your company code, put a screenshot on the group. So we will have a WhatsApp group, each and everybody will have to practice it, configure it on your system. If you face any errors, any issues during your practice, it is your responsibility. You take the screenshot of your error, put it in the group either, or send that message to me on WhatsApp. I will tell you why you are getting that error message, what you need to do to solve that error message. But you have to put efforts from your side as well. It is not that I will provide you the step-by-step configuration screenshot documents. You are not going to receive configuration screenshot documents from my side. You will only receive the business requirement, and I'll make you understand what is this requirement, what you need to do. You will not find anything, and you will not be able to understand if you follow any other source if you are attending my classes. Because the way I explain, the way I take you through is the different. If you follow any other way, any other approach, that will not work out. If you are attending my classes, you should strictly focus on what I am telling. You should strictly follow the way that I am instructing you to follow. If you are mixing 2-3 methodologies, then that is not going to work out. You will end up in getting lot of confusions. Because here you are going to learn in such a way that tomorrow you will be able to talk without having anything in front of you. No material, no document, no Excel sheet, nothing. You will just stand up and then talk. So that is the approach, that is the target of you and of me. For us to achieve the target, I have to work in a different way, and then I want you to work in a different way, which I want. Only then it is possible for us to see the valuable result, the result that you want to achieve in the next 3 to 4 months. Right, so you will have assignments on each and every topic, interview related questions and all, and I will be asking different questions in the group. I'll be asking you questions to you separately on WhatsApp. I might ask you to send me a voice message on a particular topic explanation. Let's say I might ask you to explain me about baseline configuration, or explain me about chart of accounts on my WhatsApp. So I want you to do a voice message and then send it to me. I listen to your explanation, then I'll comment what you have explained is correct or not, what points you need to improve. So right from the beginning, you are fine tuning yourself, both from the practical configuration point of view, from the interview point of view as well. Otherwise, things will get accumulated at the end. This is very difficult for anybody to practice, for anybody to prepare for your interview, because your practice may not be up to date, your preparation may not be up to date. At the end, you will end up having a huge accumulated list of backlogs. This thing should not happen. So anywhere, if you feel that we are going fast, or you are unable to understand, it is your responsibility to let me know that you are not understanding. Okay, any doubts? questions I will take before starting class and after class. I'll give you time to ask your questions before I start the class, which means before I start recording, I'll answer all your questions. And after I stop the recording, I will answer again all your questions on the topics that we have discussed so far. Not the topics that we are about to complete, only on the completed topics. Any doubts, any questions that you have, you are free to ask. Okay, I'll be also connecting on a weekly basis in generic sessions. So there will be another class which will go on a daily basis on interview related topics. In that session, you can ask any question of yours. But on the regular classes, strictly on the topics that we have covered, to make sure that the others will not get confused with your questions. Clear? So all your doubts, questions, I'll ask on a daily basis twice before the class, after the class. If you are not asking any questions, if you're not asking, if you're not speaking up with your doubts, that is your mistake. So please do not make such kind of mistakes. Make sure you ask any doubts that you have, any questions, confusions that you face. Feel free to ask. Do not hesitate. Okay, if you're not asking, you will be the loser. Nothing will happen to me, but you have to ask. Whether it is a simple, silly question, I don't mind any question that you ask. I'll be happy to answer all your questions. Right? So if I know, I will answer you upfront. If I do not know, I openly tell I do not know about this, but I'll make sure I'll give you the answer tomorrow. Clear? And your training duration will be, or I'll say your course duration is 4 months. We will take 4 months to complete the complete activities of your SAP FICO, and your training duration will be until you get job in SAP. You will be attending the classes until you get job in SAP FICO. No additional fees, no additional charge for any class that you attend. You are free to attend any session that I take, no restrictions, no formalities like that. You are free to attend any class. Make sure you practice, you learn, and you gain the confidence, you get the job. So that is my target. That should be your target as well. So don't think in such a way that within 4 months I have to learn everything. So you learn according to your convenience, as per your regular activities, your busy schedule, plan accordingly, because I don't want anybody to take stress because that the time is running, 1 month is completed, within 2 months course will be over, after that I'm all alone. Nothing is that going to happen here. I will be training you until you get job in SAP FICO. With fresh mindset, with relaxed mindset, sit and practice nicely so that you don't have to rework on anything. Once you complete the training, make sure you get job. Whosoever you talk to, make sure nobody will believe that you are a trained candidate. Your target is to make sure when you talk, the other person should not believe that you are a trained candidate. The other person should feel the difference, that what you're talking is something different. You're talking as if you have practical experience. So your target is to talk as if you have around 6 years of genuine SAP FICO experience. That is my target. That should be your target as well. When you talk as if you have 6 years of experience in SAP FICO. And try to compare yourself with a person who is holding 6 years of SAP FICO experience. Accordingly you practice, accordingly I will tune you, accordingly I will explain you. Okay. And next one, there will be one class called interview discussions. So this is every day at 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. IST. In this interview discussion, this will happen on a daily basis. No configurations are explained. We will not be talking about configurations here. We will talk about all the topics that are questioned in your interview, from the interview point of view and from the practical real-time project point of view. Let's say, for example, if you talk about document splitting, we will be talking about what is document splitting, how it is used, what are the methods, examples of document splitting along with accounting entry, from where this is coming, what kind of questions you will get on these areas. All these points we will be discussing without looking at SAP screens. Or even if you look at the SAP screen, we will not be making any configurations. I will not show configurations to make sure you do not get into confusions by looking at the config. The intention of this interviews discussion session is only to make sure that you are aware of all the topics even before you complete your course. And you have to get confused at the beginning, because tomorrow you have to live with the confusions when you are in your interview, when you are in your project. Nobody will give me your course content in the same sequence. I will ask you the questions. Never happens in any interview. In the similar way, when you're in a project, nobody will give you any task. Nobody will ask any question. Nobody will assign you into any project where you are comfortable with. Whatever comes in your way, you have to pick it up. Make sure you are not getting confused. You are able to handle. All right. So keeping these points, especially assuming if you get a job and if you are working as a FICO consultant, whatever you have to do, whatever you have to know, in the similar way we will be learning, in the similar way we will be discussing right from day one. Right, whatever I explain, whatever the assignment, whatever the task I want you to do, whatever the way I want you to practice, everything considering you got a job, in job the way you manage it, in the similar way I will be teaching you. I'm not teaching you to make sure that you clear your interview. That is not my target. My target, if you clear your interview, if you go to a job, you should not suffer, you should not struggle for anything. You have to be confident enough that you can manage independently. You can manage independently. You do not have to depend on anybody. You do not have to depend on any other sources. You will be able to work independently, confidently. That is what is my target. To achieve that, whatever is needed, I will be training you. And I want you to practice in the similar way. I want you to practice in the similar way. I want you to prepare in the similar way, the way I direct. Okay. And during your practice, during your issues, errors, understandings, or confusions, your resume preparation, interview preparation, experience, documentation, after job guidance, I'll be with you. I'll be assisting you, I'll be with you to support, to help you out until you become a FICO consultant. Even after becoming a FICO consultant, I will guide you on your work as well. You've been assigned to a project, you've been asked to work on certain thing which you are not aware. I will be giving you inputs, do like this, check this, check that, test in that way, think in that way. These kind of inputs I will be providing from my side even after you get a job. It's not that 3 months, 4 months I will take the course. I will tell that your course is completed. That is not going to happen. Clear? But I want equal effort from your side to make sure that you achieve your target. So do not have any confusions that I'll be there until you become a FICO consultant, irrespective of the duration. If it takes 1 year for you, I will be teaching you, I will be guiding you for 1 year without any extra cost. And the server, whatever I provide, I'll provide server from my side. So server will be free. Until you get job in SAP FICO, you will get access to the server for free of cost from my side. So I will not be charging anything for server. I will bear the server cost and then I'll provide the user ID for you. But I want to make sure that you practice seriously and you will achieve your target of becoming a FICO consultant. Okay. and the last one fee will be 20k INR. This is the fees, and this includes the training until you become SAP FICO consultant, free server access until you get SAP FICO job. And whatever we do is real time. Complete real time understanding, clear accounting and business process understanding. Okay, complete real time, and you can verify with SAP FICO consultants on what you are learning from me. Whatever you are learning in your course from me, you can go and verify with people who are working as SAP FICO consultants. Right from day one, you can check with anybody who is working on SAP FICO as a consultant. This is what I am learning in my course from my trainer. Is this correct? You are free to verify from anybody right from day one. I'm not going to say this is not used in real time. If there is something, if there is a way which we do not use in real time, I will not tell you that. I will not ask you to do that. Okay, tomorrow I want you to feel comfortable. I want you to feel confident when you're sitting in your interview chair and when you're sitting in your office chair. Whether you are facing an interview for the first time or you're going to the office for the first time as a FICO consultant, there should be no fear in you. You have to be comfortable, confident. Whatever you talk, whatever you explain, whatever you discuss, the other person should be convinced. The other person should not say, no, what you're talking is wrong. If somebody says you are wrong, make sure that you have the valid justification answer to tell that this is why I am explaining like this. Can you tell me why you told I am wrong? What is correct? Make sure you have confidence to put the cross question if somebody says you are wrong. For this to happen, make sure you gain the confidence in such a way that you are able to explain the reasons why you are talking. You are not going to talk only the configurations. I want everybody to talk the business process and the reason why you are explaining like this. Whatever you are explaining is your understanding. Tell them this is my understanding, because of this I am explaining like this. You are telling me I am wrong. Can you tell me what is correct? On what basis you are telling I am wrong? Make sure you have this confidence when you talk to anybody. These points I want you to make as your targets. Clear? And next thing, SAP FICO consultant, this should be your target. My target is to make sure that you become a FICO consultant. I want you also have the same target, that you become a FICO consultant. You must be very serious on becoming a SAP FICO consultant. You must be very clear, confident, sure about becoming a FICO consultant or making your career in SAP FICO. Right? Only with that intention, I want anybody to join my course. If you want to give it a try, I will tell, please do not join. I'm openly telling anybody who feels that I just want to try if it works out for me or not. I'm openly telling with that mindset, I don't want anybody to join my course, or at least with me, because I want to make sure if you are with me, I want to be with you until you become a FICO consultant. So I do not want any time pass, or I do not want anybody who is not serious. I'll put my 100% effort. I want you also to put your 100% effort so that we will get 100% result. I will not compromise on what I am teaching you, what I am explaining you. And I don't want you also to not to compromise on what you need to practice, how you need to prepare. Otherwise, we will end up doing a mistake wherein you will complete the course but you will not get the job. I don't want that to happen with anybody. I'll be there with you until you become a FICO consultant. Be confident. Forget about the duration. If you feel that you are not able to understand in one class, attend it once again. If you, even after attending it once again, even after referring the recording that you got of the same class, make sure you reach out to me. I will be available always on WhatsApp. You can always message me on WhatsApp. Whenever I get time, either I respond to you or I'll give you a call to clarify what doubts you are having, what confusions, issues you are facing. But you need to make sure from your side, you reach out to me on all the queries and all the doubts, confusions, any concerns that you have on your learning and on your practice. Because since we are doing online training, it is very difficult for me also to track personally, individually, one by one, whether you're practicing or not. So that is why I will make sure in every class, before starting the class, before ending the class, I will ask if you have any questions. You can ask any question, I will answer your question. I'll make sure I'll convince you with my answer. If I also do not know about a question that you ask, I'll make sure that the next day I'll give you the answer for it. But make sure you put your questions, do not have any confusions in your mind. Clear? So regular classes will start from Monday. What is Monday? 17th July. Okay, Monday onwards, 17th July, 9 p.m. Indian Standard Time, we will have the regular classes. So whoever wants to continue the class or whoever wants to join the session, I will share a WhatsApp message to everybody after today's class. You can reach out to me personally and you can make the initial payment to enroll for the course. Whoever enrolls, only those will be accepted to the classes from Monday onwards. Clear? This is from my side on the class, whatever I'm going to tell. If you are talking about the course content, we will be covering majority of the topics in your SAP FICO, including COPA, product costing, and material ledger. Okay, whatever is required for you to become a SAP FICO consultant. As I said, I will be training you until you become a FICO consultant. Whatever is needed for you to become a FICO consultant, everything I will train you. As I said, you can straight away verify from the SAP FICO consultants right from day one on what you are learning from me. Wherever you find any disconnect, wherever somebody says that no, this is wrong, you can reach out to me, put a question to me openly. Clear? I want you to gain confidence right from day one. I want you to feel the difference right from day one, that what you are learning is correct, is exactly the real time. This is what exactly you do when you're in a project. And I want you also to realize that your friends, those who are working in SAP FICO consultant, will also get to know different new things from you. All right, I want you to feel the difference, realize that yes, what you're learning is correct, your confidence levels are going up. Whatever you're talking, your friends who are actually working on SAP FICO are also convinced, impressed. That is my target. I want you also to take the same target. I practically, personally request everybody, verify what you are learning from SAP FICO consultants to make sure you will become a FICO consultant within this short time and without facing any problems. Okay, so the approach will be like this. There are two approaches: simple to complex and complex to simple. I'll be going with this approach. We will be going with complex to simple approach, not simple to complex. Okay, we will be going from complex to simple. Initially, whatever we talk, whatever I explain are the tough topics which people tell. Normally in the market, whatever you hear that this is very difficult, this is covered at the end and all, those points I will teach you at the beginning to make sure right from the beginning you are always on the top. Even if you compare with your friends or whosoever, you always feel that you know better. At any given point of time, I want you to have that feel that yes, I know better things than my friends, or I know better things than the people who are actually working. So I want you to have that kind of mindset. I want you to have that kind of target approach. Only then it is possible for you to meet your target. If you start from simple things, the statement itself is saying going forward this is big, this is going to get complex. So when things are going to get complex, automatically you will lose interest. Automatically you start getting fear. You feel that I'm not understanding anything. Everything is very difficult. SAP FICO is very tough. I think this is not suitable for me. I will leave. I will quit SAP. I don't want anybody to feel that way. That is why I'm telling you, I will start from complex. Then going forward, every single session will make you feel so comfortable that even without looking at SAP, I do not open any SAP screen, but I will talk about SAP topics. You will be able to understand. You will be able to open SAP. You will be able to do the configurations, bring the output even without me showing anything on SAP. I will only explain the business process, business requirement. I'll put an example. I'll tell these configurations you will have to do. Nowhere I will write the configuration steps. I will only make sure you understand the requirement. You understand how to configure the system without looking at any document, without having any material. 100% everybody will be able to do on your own. You will be able to get the output. You will be able to show me the config. And you will be able to show me the screenshot of this is what you have given. Look at the output from my company code. When you are able to do these things on your own, the level of confidence, the kind of a feel that you get is something that you cannot even imagine. So I want you to have that kind of a confidence with everybody, and you have to keep this target right from the beginning, right from day one. Clear? Any questions you have, you are free to ask now.
Yes, you
Hello.
have said that. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just checking regarding those of us that are not based in India and what the payment methods are. Are you going to send us on
Yeah,
WhatsApp
on WhatsApp,
the?
I'll discuss with you on this payment methods.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, yeah.
That was my question also. So thanks for asking.
Yeah, also, for those that wants to pay that are not in India, the easiest way to pay, you can use Remitly. There's an app called Remitly. It's so easy to use to pay.
Yes, correct. Those who are not in India, those who are from US and all, you can pay using Remitly app. So these things I will guide you on WhatsApp once we have a chat. I'll tell you what you need to use.
Okay, so I just want to make sure I'm clear. So the class starts on Monday, but on Saturday and Sunday we're gonna have the same class, right?
Yes.
For
So
this.
normally, if I have to put it in this way, where did I put regular class? Okay. Now regular class Monday to Sunday, this will be a different way, and explanation, this is different way and explanation. Concept remains the same, but whatever the examples I take, whatever the company code I take, whatever the minor changes that I do in both the sessions will be different, so that even if you attend both the sessions, you will not feel bored. you will feel that you got to know some new points here, and if you attend this, you will feel that I got to know some other points from here. Okay, that is why I tell you are free to attend any session that I take, because no two sessions of mine on the same topic are same. I explain with different examples, I explain with different logics, but the concept will remain the same. The way I convince, the way I explain will be different, because we are not going to talk the standard configuration. I'm not going to go based on the configuration material and all. If I'm going by the config material document, whatever is there on the document, I need to explain. That is straight away eliminated from our classes. No material, no PPT presentations, nothing. If somebody is showing a PPT presentation, that is not the presentation that they made. They would have downloaded from Google or somewhere, and it is easy for anybody. Even you also can explain by putting a PPT presentation on screen. Agree with me? If I put a PPT presentation on your screen, it will show everything, the configuration step, T code, table, everything it will show. Is it easy for anybody to explain or not?
Yes.
Alright, so that way we will not be going. I'm not going to talk, I'm not going to explain anything in that way. During the complete tenure of your training, I will not open any Google, I will not open any material, any document. If I share you any document, that is official SAP document. No private document. If I share any documentation, I will be providing you official SAP documents like SAP notes or SAP best practice documentation. I will be sharing with you. Apart from standard SAP documentation of SAP product, no private document is shared from me. Everything I will explain, everything I will draft on the Excel sheet. During the class, whatever the points, whatever the notes, whatever the important things that I talk, that I explain, everything I only write clearly on the Excel sheet, so that you don't have to focus on writing. I want you to focus on what I am talking. You will get more information from what I am talking, what I am explaining, than the material that you refer. If you refer the Excel sheet, if you understand, if you refer the recording one more time after I take the class, you will be having more than sufficient information about that topic, which you don't even get on the Google or any social media. Clear? Whatever is there which you can get on the Google for free of cost, I will not be talking. For example, I will not explain you the full form of SAP during the entire tenure of our course. Right? If you put Google what is SAP, you will get the definition. I will not tell you what is the full form of S4 HANA, what is ERP, who invented SAP, all these kind of things, points I'm not going to talk in the class, which is not relevant. I want you to know those points from the open market for free of cost. If we talk about all these points, we are unnecessarily wasting the valuable time that you can anyways learn, that I know everybody will learn by referring different sources on the market. So we will be focusing on the content that you do not get on the open market. Only those points, only those areas I will be focusing more. I want to make sure you get benefited for what you are paying, and tomorrow you will not have any regret that I have learned but I am not satisfied, or I paid money but I did not learn, I am not convinced, I am not satisfied, I am not able to clear my interview, I am not able to talk to somebody, I am unable to perform in my project. These points will not arise. I'll make sure you will not come into these categories. Clear?
So, when will the interview classes start? Is it after the 4 months, or is there like an allotted time for that, for the
No,
assistance?
interview class I will take every day at 8 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Okay.
This is a regular catch that I take, and you can attend. Here the topics will be repeated on a daily basis. Every day I take one topic, I keep explaining about the topic, so that you will become familiar with the topic. What is that topic all about? What is the functionality of it? Why we use it? How we use it? What are the business processes? What kind of questions they will ask in these areas? And we will be having people of the previous batches who are attending the interviews and who will share the interview questions. I will be discussing all the interview questions along with the answers. Why they ask these kind of questions, what kind of answer they expect, how do you explain for these kind of questions. It's an ongoing process.
Okay.
Okay, I will share the recording of this as well on a daily basis. It's not that after 4 months we will talk. Within 4 months, you will be confident enough to face your interview.
Okay, sir. This is my question. You made mention of paying an initial. There's an initial payment before you get added to the WhatsApp group. What is that initial payment? Are you gonna send it to her us privately, or are you gonna tell us the initial payment that you need to get?
Okay, the minimum initial payment one has to pay is 5,000 INR. Initial payment is 5K INR. Okay, here we will
Thank
be
you.
focusing more on the concept than commercial. Okay.
Sir, I have a question about someone just mentioned yesterday about the cloud. So it may be a stupid question, but is a S4 HANA is not on the cloud base, and is a cloud base is it different, or is a I'm just a bit confused.
Cloud is different. When there are two things, one is on premise, the other one is on cloud. If it is on premise, the server is with you and you will be operating, maintaining the all hardware at your office premises. If it is cloud, the system maintenance is taken care by the SAP and you will not be having option to do all the configurations from your side. Certain configurations which are client specific, country specific are updated by SAP directly. Only selected configurations you will be doing. These are basically called as guided configurations. These guided configurations you will be performing on cloud basis. This cloud system is not available in the market for practice. In the market, we will get only on-premise. Cloud is not available in the market for test or for practice. But I'll give you the insights, I'll give you the updates and the changes, how you will have to work, what you need to do if you are allotted to any cloud project.
So my understanding is ECC is on-prem and S4 is on the cloud. Am I right or wrong?
S4 has got both the options, cloud and on-premise both.
Okay, okay. Then thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Sir, you are providing server access is a 24 hours is available, sir.
Yes.
And sir, one more questions. In previous batches, how many people get the fresher people get the job, sir? You have any rough idea, sir?
So I will bring the people for discussions into the classes once your regular classes
Okay.
will start. There will be a common group that I will be creating wherein the previous batch students will also be there. You will also be there. You can openly interact, take feedback on my classes.
Okay, sir. Very nice.
Okay, I'll not say that you have no access to the previous batch students. There will be one common batch wherein previous batch students will also be there. You will also be there. Students, those who are working as SAP FICO consultants are also there. It
Okay,
is
sir.
like we will be helping each other mutually and we will be sharing knowledge collectively.
Okay.
So now
Okay.
how many batches are continuing?
This is the batch number 2 that I am taking.
Hello. Good evening, sir.
Yes. Good evening.
Sir, my question is up to the 12th or like in a college, we have heard about the the trading and the P&L account, where we have mentioned the sale on the credit side, closing stock on the credit side, and opening balance, purchases, direct expenses, then we will get a gross profit on the debit side. So if I'm talking about the SAP point of view, we never saw any kind of a purchase account. So may I know
Correct.
what is the reason of it? Why the SAP has not introduced a purchase account into the SAP, or maybe they have introduced, but as a we are not like I am not an experiencer, or am I just doing, so I am unable to get the purchase account. That this is my
Normally,
question.
in SAP, when you generate any financial statement or any financial report, basically we talk about trial balance, P&L, balance sheet. This you have two classifications. Point number one, operating profit. Point number two, product level profit. When you're talking about operating profit, you're talking about the overall organization profit, correct? During the particular month, what is my total profit, including all my sales, purchases, along with all my day-to-day operating expenses. Clear?
Okay, sir.
Here you are going to find out the total profit or the net profit, not the gross profit. The net profit only you will come to know from financial point of view, SAP FI point of view. If you want to know what is your sale, what is your purchases, what is your gross profit for a particular product, you have another module called COPA, profitability analysis. In COPA, whatever the way you wanted to find out your profit, you can find out. In short, product level profitability is always measured or verified from the COPA side, and the operating profit is always measured from the finance point of view.
Sir, my concern is not about the how we get to know about our profit. My concern is relating to the purchase. We never saw a purchase account in the SAP. So is it a
Because
true or
it is true, in any of your real accounting, you will not find purchase accounting, because when you see this in your academics, you will be writing a GL account, or you will be writing the entries with purchase account debit. You will open an account called purchases, correct?
yes, sir?
That is where
Purchase
you got
account debit
confused.
to vendor. Yeah, basically, during the academic session, we have learned about the purchase, like whenever we have procured the goods, the purchase account debit to vendor. But if I'm talking about the SAP, then there will be a clearing account which will be get into the picture. So once
Correct.
the goods has been come at the time of GRN, the inventory account debit to GRIR clearing account, and then once we get the invoices, the entry would be a GRIR account debit to a vendor. So basically, it's the offsetting account. But what is the purpose of from the SAP point of view? What is the requirement to create a GRIR account? Why we are not
this
introducing our purchases? So this is the thing which I want to understand.
this is not from the SAP point of view. This is from basic accounting point of view. If you see any accounting which any organization does, this is based on something called accounting principle. Alright, so every organization will follow the accounting based on the accounting principle. According to accounting principle, let's say if you're operating in India, you need to follow something called Indian Accounting Standards or Indian Companies Act. Similarly, if you are doing any reporting for global purpose, or for your corporate group reporting purpose, you will be referring either IFRS accounting principle or US GAAP accounting principle. According to this, you are not supposed to state just purchases. When you're talking about purchases, you need to give the detailed breakup of what you have purchased. Let's say you're telling that you purchased for 10,000. If I put a cross question, what did you purchase? What can be the item that you purchased? It can be a service, correct? Can you purchase a service?
No, sir. Basically, uh, basically utilize a service or a render the services.
Which means when you're taking a service, is this called as a purchase or not? Whatever you're receiving from a vendor is called as a purchase. Agree?
Okay, sir.
Okay, let's say in your organization, your AC is not working. AC has has given some breakdown. You need to get it repaired. And for the AC repair, you may be calling a service technician who has come and then done the basic cleaning of the AC, or he has done some repair and maintenance to it, and he will give you an invoice bill for the repair that he has done.
Yes, sir.
This is called as a service. You are not receiving any physical product, correct?
Absolutely, sir.
Other one, you may purchase a laptop for an employee.
Okay.
Now here you are receiving something called a laptop, and you may purchase something called any material, which your intention is to use that material for your production or sell that product to your end customer. Okay, now when you're purchasing, your purchase is not fixed. Your purchase can be a service, your purchase can be a fixed asset, your purchase can be a material, which is a current asset. So when you're purchasing, you have different category of items or services that you can purchase.
Yes, sir.
Now, not every purchase will go to P&L. If you purchase an asset, do you write asset purchase in P&L or you write asset purchase in balance sheet?
It should be in the balance sheet.
Now, according to you, whenever you talk about purchase, we will be talking about P&L. But here you are talking about purchase, but purchase is not going to P&L. Purchase is also going to balance sheet.
Yes, sir.
So the way you treat the purchase is dependent on what you are procuring. For all this, there are accounting standards predefined. So every organization will have to follow one accounting principle, either Indian accounting standard if you are operating in India, or IFRS or US GAAP. According to this, you are not supposed to prepare purchase account. You have to clearly classify what kind of a purchase it is. Whenever you are purchasing, you are spending money, correct?
Yes, sir.
Your amount that you are spending towards purchase can be classified as capex or opex, either capital expenditure or operating expenses. If it is a capital expenditure, it will go to balance sheet. If it is an operating expense, it will go to P&L. So based on these things, there will be no purchase account. Even if you talk about purchase account, it clearly indicates that you are having the academic background of accounting understanding, not the organization background of accounting. The way you see the accounting in your academics, the way you see the accounting in any organization or any company, there will be huge differences. So that is why I teach your sessions right from the accounting, so that these kind of questions, confusions will be eliminated. So you have all these kind of questions clarified during our initial accounting explanations.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay. And one
Yeah.
more thing is that, sir, if we're talking about the entry posting point of view, suppose if we have done the AP and we are just posting a document. So apart from the posting of the document and the standard report, like whatever we have FBL, for example, FBL1N or a different kind of FBL1H, FAGLL03H. So apart from that, what we will learn extra?
The way an organization sees the report, that is what I am going to train you. I'm not going to show you the reports which SAP delivers. Instead, I will talk about the reports that a company wants in an organization. Let's say you are working in a company from the accounts payable side. Okay. If you are working in accounts payable, how do you deal with accounts payable? What happens in an organization with accounts payable? How do they create a vendor? If you see it from SAP, simply you will go to FK01 BP, you will create a vendor, correct?
Yes, sir.
But if you are in an organization, that is not the way you create a vendor. To create a vendor, there is a big procedure in any organization. So you need to have a new vendor application form, and you need to have an order or an invoice from a vendor which will get approved from the respective approval metrics. Somebody will have to approve that this is a valid vendor, you can go ahead and purchase from this vendor. So what is new vendor approval form or new vendor request form? Who will create the vendor master? And what validations you will do for vendor master? While creating the vendor, what checklist you have to make? While processing the transactions, how do you ensure that there are no duplicate invoices posted? If there are any duplicate postings, how do you rectify those things? What kind of payments they will pass? And how do you generate reports? What kind of reports on the accounts payable are used on a daily basis? And what will be the month-end activities that you carry out on accounts payable during the month end? This is how we are going to discuss about every topic, not from the SAP config topic. That is why I said you will not be receiving any config documents from my side. Because what we talk, what we discuss is practically what happens in any organization from that particular module wise. And I openly said you can verify what you are learning with the people who are working on accounts payable as end users in SAP and consultants who are working on SAP FICO who has experience on accounts payable, so that you will gain the confidence that yes, what I am learning is correct. So it is obvious that you have to feel comfortable, you have to feel confident that you are gaining knowledge, correct?
Yes, sir.
Unless you know, or unless you feel, unless you realize that what you are learning is correct, I cannot tell that this is correct, this is how it is done, then I may be fooling you. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So which I don't want you to feel. I want you to go and verify from the people who are working on SAP, and then realize you don't have to tell me that what you are telling me is wrong, right? Only if you feel what I am telling is wrong, you can put a question to me. If you feel what I am telling is correct, no need to tell me that what you are telling is right. But wherever, if you find that whatever I teach, whatever I tell is wrong, you can upfront ask me. Clear?
Clear. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sir, adding further to this, like the purchase account doubt, what we generally do in academics is we prepare a trading account, and there are two sides like expense and income side. So in the expense side, we consider first of all we take the opening stock, the purchase account, and all the expenses, direct expenses. And on the credit side, in the income side, we take the sales account and the closing stock. And the balance we get is the residual balance which we get is the profit. So how will this profit we will see in the SAP screen, in the SAP P&L? How can we
In the
match
SAP
that?
PNL, material wise PNL, you will not get it. Material wise PNL, if you want to get, you have to refer the COPA reports, because your material wise transactions are not recorded in FI. Material wise transactions are recorded in MM module, correct?
Yes.
Now, whenever you are preparing this stock report, you have to produce what is your opening stock. In general, you call it as stock movement. For a particular month, what is the stock movement? If you know the stock movement, you will come to know the opening and closing balances. Let's say at the beginning of this month, July 1st, my stock of a particular material is 1000 quantity for 10,000 rupees. Now, my closing stock I am representing as 1200 quantity, 15,000 rupees. Possible?
Yes.
My opening stock is 1000 quantity, 10,000 value. My closing stock is 1200 quantity, 15,000 value. Now you have to see everything from the accounting point of view, reporting point of view, auditing point of view. Now during the month, this is not going to be considered in most of the organizations, but during every quarter, during every year end, they will be very strict on this, because your auditor wants you to provide the breakup of the stock movement. For a particular month, let's say you are telling 1000 is your opening stock, fine, and at the end of the month you are telling 1200 is the closing stock. What is the stock movement? When I say stock movement, how many material or how much you have received during the month, how much you have issued during the month, when you received, at what price you have received, when you delivered or when you sold, at what rate you have sold. And sum of all this should tally to your closing stock that you are representing on your financials. Correct? So these
Yes.
things are not standard in SAP, we have to customize because data will flow from logistics and you need to put all this information along with quantity. Wherever you're talking about logistics material, without quantity and without amount, those reports are invalid. Am I correct?
Yes.
I must represent this is the quantity, this is the value, and then I should be in a position to drill down to the transaction. I purchased this. What is the purchase order? When did you receive this product? Okay, in which plant you received it? At what rate you evaluated it? If this is this product sold? If yes, at what rate you sold? To which customer you sold? You must be in a position to drill down all this. Now this is where you are going to integrate different modules in SAP. So these are all basically the custom reports that you will be developing, or you will be depending on COPA reports, where you will be receiving or collating the data from multiple modules.
Correct. So I'll put my question in a different manner. Like, first of all, I would like to ask that is there a sales account in SAP? GL, sales
Yes, you have
GL.
some. Yes.
So, okay, the sales account is the income account. So, what is the counterpart, the debit, the expense account of sales in SAP,
For
which would
sales,
give
you
us
will
the
not
profit?
have. For SAP, when you talk about the sales, you will not be able to find out the profit from the sales directly because this is something which is confidential data of any organization. Let's say I am recording a sale transaction, I am the user. As a user, as a business, you don't want your users to know or your employees to know what profit you are making by selling each product. Yes or no?
Yes.
Now you want to keep this as confidential. So that is why whenever you record any of your sales, you're not recording the counterpart as your expense. Instead, you will receive the counterpart as your customer. You're debiting customer, you're crediting sale. The material cost you will find from the delivery document or PGI document.
Okay.
So you will have to open the sales document. From the sales document, you need to go to the preceding document, which is a delivery document. From the delivery, you have to open the PGI. From the PGI, you will find out the cost of a goods sold account. The sales value minus the cost of a goods sold value will give you the profit. And these kind of reports normally we customize because in standard you don't get it. You can customize a report with the help of SD consultant and MM consultant, wherein if you put whenever you make any sale in any organization, each and every sale majoritarily is based on the sales order, correct?
Correct.
So if I know that this is the particular sale order, I just wanted to input the sales order. Based on the sales order, I want to know what is the sales order value, sales order quantity, and what is the delivery quantity, delivery value, and what is the billing value and billing quantity. So that in one report, I will be able to track by giving the sales order. This is the 10 quantity of sales at the rate 10 quantity for 1000 rupees, and I delivered 10 quantity for 800 rupees, and then I sold 10 quantity for 1000. Now I can easily figure out my delivery value is 800, my sale value is 1000. So I am ending up getting a profit of 200.
Correct.
So these kind of reports we have to customize. You don't get these reports in standard, or you need to depend on COPA.
Okay.
Clear?
Yes.
Any other questions? You don't have to worry about what you're going to learn. You can be rest assured that you will get the right content that you don't get on the Google, that you don't get on the social media. Whatever you get for free of cost, I will not be talking, I'll not be explaining, I'll not be spending more time on it, because that anyways you can get it for free of cost. Whether I teach or anybody else teach, it will be the same, the basic content. So we will not be focusing more on basic content. On the basic content, we will be focusing conceptually. With this conceptual understanding, lot of things you can learn, you can experiment, you can practice on your own without getting any confusions. Yeah.
Sir, regarding this SAP certification, that will you going to learn, teach anything, or with this content we can attend the sessions? How it will be? What is the benefits we're going to get certification? It is required
From the
or not?
certification point of view, if you want me to explain, after completion of your course, without referring any dump, you will be able to pass your certification. I can guarantee you that. I'll give you the knowledge which will allow you to clear your certification without referring any dump, without even preparing for certification exam.
Okay, thanks. And regarding resume preparation, that will going to happen after training session. In middle also, will you help us to prepare, or how
The
it
way
will going to?
I tune you from the beginning is different, because majoritarily those who join my sessions are already trained candidates or people who are working on SAP FICO. Hardly 10 to 20% I get people who are learning SAP for the first time. 80 to 90% those who are with me are already either trained candidates on SAP FICO from different institutes, from different trainers, or people who are working as SAP FICO consultants. So I take you through in a different way right from the beginning. The approach that I show you, the approach that I want you to practice is different. So I know at what stage I have to push you to the interview. When I tell that you're ready for interview, you are not going to have any fear. After interview, you will call me back stating that I did well in my interview. This is guaranteed.
Thank you. Thanks.
I'll not tell that you can attend interview at any given point of time. I will tell you not to upload your resume without consulting me. I will tell you not to prepare for your interview without discussing with me, because for interview your preparation is always based on your resume. I will connect with you separately. I will review your resume. I will tell what corrections you need to make, and then I'll explain you what points you have to highlight, what points you need to explain in your interview. Because I want to make sure when you face your interview, you should not come back and tell me that I am scared of interview. They asked me things which we did not discuss in our class. I don't want to hear this from anybody. 70 to 80% whatever we discuss, I want to make sure the same things at lower standard you will receive in your interview. If your interview is at standard number 3, I'll explain you at standard number 5. Your interview is always lower standard than what I teach you here, so that you will not feel that they are asking you something which you are not aware of, something that you cannot understand. If I teach you at lower level, I know that your interview is at higher level. So automatically you feel that whatever you discussed or whatever you explained, whatever you asked me to practice, nothing is asked in my interview. Will you be happy seeing this in your interview? I make you learn course for 3 months. I make you practice for 4-5 months. After that, if you are attending interview and you feel that whatever I taught, whatever you prepared, nothing is asked in the interview, everything is a bouncer, everything is new, strange for you, will you be happy with that situation? Yes, no?
No, sir.
I'll guarantee that situation will never happen. If you doubt, I'll tell you to record your interview and then open the topics that I taught you, compare them. Clear? Huh?
Clear, sir. Thanks. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, sir.
Yeah. Hi.
So do we need to make any notes by ourselves, because like there will not be any document, right? So I'm just asking.
No need of any notes. During the class, whatever is needed on that particular topic, I'll capture everything on the Excel sheet, including the small statements also, small sentences also. I will only write on the Excel sheet. I will share it after the class.
Okay. So, and also the like non-weekend, weekday batch is from Monday to Friday only, right? Like it will not extend to Saturday or Sunday as well? No, right?
No. Saturday, Sunday, it will be a different weekend batch. The same topics I will cover in a different way.
Okay, so in case if we miss, we can attend both the batches,
You
right?
can
That's what.
attend both the batches parallelly also. I have no problems.
Okay.
End of the day, I want you to learn subject. I want you to get job. For that,
Yes.
if you require 2 sessions, attend 2 sessions. If you require all the sessions that I take, I'll tell openly, attend all the sessions that I take. No additional cost.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Hi, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sir, it's possible to any SAP consultant involved in all areas, for example, GL, AP, AR, asset, banking, taxes.
Very rare that a consultant involves in all the areas. Point number one, if you are working on support project, that may be possible. If you are working in small companies, that may be possible. But if you are working in top MNCs, not possible. You will be limited either to AP/AR or only on taxation, only on cash banking, only on integrations, only on CO, something like that.
So is it advisable to not apply for support jobs then?
For
Until
support, normally what will happen, ticket may come from any area, maybe from FI, AP, AR, GL, integration, interface, taxation, or from CO, cost center, profit center, COPA, product costing, anything. But as a support consultant, it is not that you are implementing the system, right? It's just, it is already implemented, then they are facing a problem, they are facing an error. As a support consultant, you must be in a position to understand what they are doing, because you will have the configuration document available of that particular client. User manual is available of that particular client. It is not something that they are doing for the first time. Maybe some error in the master record, some error in the transaction, or user is giving something wrong, or this is a new scenario altogether.
Correct.
Right, so these kind of a points we have to think. All these points I will be explaining in detailed, pin to pin.
Okay.
Ajay, are we going to cover all the sub modules, AP, AR, banking, assets, and CO within the 4
Yes.
months? Okay,
Yes.
all right, cool. Then in terms of the tables that that are important for FI, we also cover some tables
Yes.
that are critical, like your. Okay, all right.
So normally what I will do, once we complete, let's say 2 to 2.5 month of class, by the end of 2.5 months of your session out of 4 months, I will make sure everybody is able to understand about SAP. Everybody is able to talk on SAP without looking at SAP screen, without looking at any document, any notes, any material. Casually, if you talk with your friend on a call, in the similar way, I'll make sure you are all able to talk, explain, understand about SAP without referring anything. That is where I am going to start your interview preparations. I will be giving you a topic to everybody, wherein I want you to explain that topic in this session. Whatever you know. Let's say I'm talking about baseline configuration. I want you to explain baseline configuration the way you explain to any person in your interview, or the way you talk about this particular point to your client or to your user. Nobody will interrupt when you're talking. I will be there in the session. Once you're done, I will be sharing the feedback on the spot, that what points you have discussed, what points you should have added, what points you have not added, so that you will be improving even before you start attending your interviews. Unless I know how you're talking, it is not possible for me to guide, it is not possible for me to fine tune the way you need to talk, the way you need to explain. Correct? So I don't want you to go and talk directly in the interview. I want you to talk on all the topics in front of me first. First, I'll make sure that I am convinced with the way you are talking, I am convinced with the way you are explaining about a topic, and then I'll tell you the corrections, modifications that you need to do. Then only I'll tell that you can attend the interviews.
Yes, sir. One more doubt.
Yes.
Yeah. So, on an average, just say roughly, like how much time do we need to practice for, like everyday session, like for one session, like how much time do we need to
If
practice?
you spend approximately 1 to 2 hours, that is more than enough.
Okay.
1 to 2 hours, if you practice, that is more than enough. At any given point of time, make sure you're not having backlog of 1 or 2 days, at least 1 week. If you
Okay.
are, let's say, on 14th, you must have practiced until 10th or 11th,
Okay.
or at least last week topics you would have practiced, but not from last 1 month I have not practiced, I have forgot everything. It should not be the case,
Mm.
because the way I am going to explain is all interconnected things. As I said, interconnected things. Even before you post a document, you will understand what is the project, what is trial balance, how do you load legacy balances into SAP, what is LSMW, LTMC, integrations, asset migration. All these points I will make you understand even before you post a document, even before you configure SAP from your side.
Okay.
So that I'll inject things in a proper way in your mind. In the similar way, I'll walk you throughout the 4 months journey. And if you go out, talk to anybody, see in any project, in the similar way, you will see everything.
Okay.
There's no point that somebody is telling this is not the way that you do it, or somebody is telling that we do it like this, no, this is wrong and all. Even if somebody says these points to you, you will be confident enough to tell why you are telling these points with your justifications, with your explanation. As I said, if anybody says this, put a cross question to the same person. Because of this is what my understanding. Based on this, I am telling this. You are telling me this is wrong. Can you tell me on what basis you are telling wrong? If this is wrong, what is right?
Okay.
Don't just like that accept if somebody says you are wrong. Tell what made you talk like this, and ask the other person immediately what made you tell me that I am wrong.
Okay.
If they give valid reason, fine, fair enough. You will correct it, I will correct it. If not, nobody has the right to say that you are wrong. There are people who will simply tell, no, this is not the way, but they will not tell you what is correct. There are many people like this in the market.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And like how shall we revise generally? Like I'm not sure. Like in case if like school subjects or college preparation or any competitive exam, we will revise. Like there will be one approach, but this is something an ERP and tool. So is there any approach like what generally followed by most of the people, which is most suitable? Like the rank.
Normally what we need to do, if you see this from SAP point of view, it's an ocean, right? You
Yeah.
will have different modules, different consultant, different person doing different activity, but you have to see it from a point of view in which you are going to work tomorrow. Tomorrow you will be playing a role of SAP FICO consultant in any project.
Yes.
So I will be taking you through the role which you are going to play tomorrow. Whatever which is not relevant to us as a FICO consultant, I will not be talking about those points. I will be stressing more on the areas where you are going to work, areas where you must have the knowledge. Let's say somebody talks about project implementation. You are not becoming a project manager. Your intention is not to go attend the job of a project manager, correct?
Yeah.
So you don't want to know in detail about ASAP methodology, Activate methodology. So we will be talking about those methodologies with respect to SAP FICO consultant. If you are holding around 6 years of experience in SAP, what you will do in the project, only those areas I will make sure that you are clear with. The remaining content is all theory. I will tell you can read from Google or official SAP document. That is theory. There is nothing that I can teach you from it. In fact, you can get to know better than me when you refer the documents from the SAP official website. Correct?
Yes, sir.
So those points I will not be focusing. I'll be
Okay.
focusing on your work related areas more. Theoretical contents and all, either you or me, we have to refer document only.
Okay. And
Practical
one
things
last,
is what
yeah,
we are focusing more. Yeah, go ahead.
got it. Yeah, and one last note is like let's say if we got any job and during our job, if we got any doubt, so can we reach out to you? Like, can we message you?
Yes, I'll be available even after you getting the job. I'll
Okay,
not charge
okay,
anything for it. Normally, people will charge money stating on-job support. I'll
yes,
not be charging anything. Whatever the fee you pay, not even 1 rupee I'll be charging from you ever.
yes,
There's no possibility that you'll be charged. It's like I am sharing my knowledge. I will also be learning from you because
yes,
I may be explaining certain things to you according to my experience, according to the scenarios that I have come across.
yeah,
But you may be thinking something in a different way. You may be getting different error. You may be having different thought process. So I am also learning from you in that. So
yes,
end of the day, it's a mutual benefit. I am learning new things from you. You are learning new things from me. I see it from that point of view, not commercial point of view. Tomorrow, when
yes,
you're working, when you get a job, whatever the questions that you're asking, I can share your questions to those who are learning at that particular time with me.
yeah,
So it will be beneficial for everybody. So that is how I see that you are getting benefited by knowing what you need to do for it. With your clarification, somebody else is also getting benefited.
yes,
So we'll go in that way.
yeah, that makes sense. Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Hello,
Yes.
sir. I have a question. So, as you mentioned, right, we cannot see. I mean, whenever we are working on as a sales rep or whatever, right, on AR perspective, we cannot see the profit and all. I know that because I am actually working as a account receivable analyst in one of the company. So, but I'm preparing the I'm entering the sales order and all from my end, and then I'm creating the invoice copies and all. But I cannot see what exactly impact on other side revenue impact and all because we're not authorized to see the T
Correct.
codes which are related to see the profitability or some other fields which you have covered, right? Purchase,
Correct.
I mean PGI something and all you said, right? We are
Correct.
not authorized to see all those T codes. So
Correct.
that's what I just want to tell you that. Yeah.
Yeah. There is something called SOD. We call it as segregation of duties.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Tomorrow, when you're working as a FICO consultant, one of your activity is to create user roles and authorization objects. When you're creating this user
Okay.
role, you need to make sure the person who is creating the sales order will not be able to deliver it. Or if
Yeah.
he is delivering, he is not able to invoice it. If he is invoicing it, he is not able to receive the payment. There is something called segregation of duties. This is one of the points that you need to consider, that you must be aware of as a FICO consultant. So all these points we will be discussing in detail. These are all the things that you don't get anywhere. There will be no documentation, nothing you find on Google on it. Unless you work, you will not know about these points in a systematic way. When you tell these points to the other person should say, yes, this is how we will work. Because when you talk, normally we sound like somebody told you this is not correct. You will tell only one line and then there will be no further expansion or explanation justification for it. Correct?
Yeah. Yes.
It will not be that way. I'll explain you clear picture. This is how it happens in an organization. With valid practical examples, I'll make you understand so that you can tell the other person with your own example. Concept remains the same. But when you talk, make sure you are talking in a casual tone, that you're not using any technical terminologies and all. No need. For your level of experience, it is not needed. When you're telling, I want you to make sure that you are convincing me with your subject. That's it. That is what is expected from you on your interview. The way I teach you, the way I want you to talk tomorrow, if I have to take your interview, I don't want to reject you. Whatever I want from you, if I want to select you in the interview, I want you to know those points. Only those points I will teach you in my class. Clear?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Got it.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions? Fine then. If no
Sir,
Sir,
questions,
link will be
yeah, please go ahead.
So can we join interview classes from the day one of our regular classes?
Yes, you can join. You can attend any class that I take right from day one.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Okay.
But sir, I am falling in the category of 10 to 20%. Should we join these interview sessions from the beginning, or shall we do it after?
You can join. You can join. These points are not going to create confusion. Even if it creates confusion, you are getting this confusion at the early only, so that you can overcome all these confusions at early stage. You're just listening to it, the conversation, how the people are explaining and all. I'll be making the other people talk in the interview sessions. I will be explaining the different topics. Let's say if you talk about asset accounting, how asset accounting is configured and all. Even before I ask everybody to speak, I would have explained the conceptually about asset accounting. After that, I want you to, or I want somebody to explain about asset accounting. The other person will be talking about asset accounting. Now you will be listening to it, you will be seeing how the other person is talking, and you will come to know if you are taking his interview, the way the other person is talking, are you convinced? If you were to select or reject him, what will you do? If you say that I will reject him, I want you to have some points in your mind, not to reveal outside. Why will you reject him? You will have something that he is not sounding confident. The points I'm not convincing enough. He's telling only configs, only T codes. You will form an opinion or not.
Yes.
So I want all of us to figure out these points, that tomorrow you also have to talk in the interview. I don't want you to talk directly in the interview. I want you to talk in front of me, so that it is possible for me to rectify what you are going wrong, what points you are missing, whether you are talking in a convincing way or not. Then I'll be putting a cross questions once you are done with your explanation. So there you will get to know, okay, people will ask you questions like this also in our interview. And I'll give
But
further
sir,
points
but
that you,
But
yeah.
sir, only the point is like if we start from the beginning, right? As I said that I am in 10 to 20% category, then we wouldn't understand anything, isn't it? If like people who are already working or who are already get interviewed and they have finished their education, so obviously they have questions that we wouldn't understand what is on the question is.
No, it's only to get an idea, not to understand. These points are
Okay.
only to just to get an idea that okay, this is how things will come. So in the similar
Okay.
way, whatever you are practicing from the beginning, so you will be tuning that okay, tomorrow on these topics, this is how the questions will come. When I'm practicing, let's say baseline config, what are the points that I need to explain? Because going forward, we have to simplify the things, right?
Yes.
Because once you complete 1 month, because initially we will be taking more time, maybe 1 to 1.5 months, only to make sure that we are all comfortable with the system. But after 1 month, whatever you have done, you will be able to practice in one single day. For you to come to a stage where you can set up a company code, you can practice, derive TB PNL balance sheet, it takes 1 day. For that, you need to have 1 month effort, so that you can explain to anybody. You can take your own example, take an Excel sheet, write whatever you want from the accounting side, create a company code of your choice with all the basic parameters, and pass the entries, generate the reports the way you drafted on your Excel sheet. And for everything you will have explanation. You can convince anybody with your explanation logic, both from accounting point of view and from SAP FICO point of view. And later on, I am going to connect every dot. Initially, whatever I show you is like, you may find it a little tricky, but that is only at the beginning. Later on, everything you will find it is very simple, very simple. Because practically if you talk, every topic if you take, it's a matter of hours. If you want to configure, let's say, automatic payment program, you can complete the configuration in 1 hour. Let's say for another topic 2 hours, or another topic maximum 3 hours. Likewise, if you do it in a month, you can configure complete system from FICO point of view. But to understand why we are doing what we are doing, how this is going to create an impact, where this will affect, we need to have a thorough understanding wherein you will not fall under any confusions. Okay, so we will be focusing not on the configurations but on understanding. Tomorrow I want to make sure you are able to explain whatever you have learned to another person. That is my target. Clear?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Sir, I have one question. Someone, my friend, attend interview. They told me interview asked him why you are create a vendor. It is work of consultant. Why you are create customer. This is SD consultant work. That types of the questions asked interviewed him.
Yes. As I said at the beginning, I will show you all the cutover activities, TB, PNL and all.
Okay.
Here I said I'll show all this, right? Trial balance, upload and all, transaction. Here I will answer all those questions. Who will create a vendor? Who will create customer? If it is MM, why MM consultant will create a vendor? If it is SD, why SD consultant will create a customer? Why not FI? All these points you will understand here itself. Before you post the first document, all these points you will understand. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions? All right. If no questions, let me stop the recording.